Here's a shocking fact. Almost 40% of people around the world are financially illiterate. That means nearly half of the population doesn't fully understand how money works. But it gets even worse because in some developing countries, this number skyrockets to 80%. So this means approximately 4 billion adults worldwide lack understanding of basic financial concepts. Now, I don't say this to scare you, but ignorance has a price. A report from the National Financial Educators Council showed that in 2022, an average adult lost over $10,000 just because of financial illiteracy. $10,000 gone. Not from bad luck, but from poor money choices. So here's the real question. Do you want to be one of the people losing money without realizing it, or one of the people building wealth intentionally? If you're watching this, I think I know your answer. In this video, I'll share with you practical ways to increase your financial IQ. These are not abstract theories. They're real practical strategies you can actually use to make smarter decisions, avoid common traps, and grow your wealth immensely. 1. Understand the financial matrix. The first step is to learn how money really moves, the financial matrix. Think of it like the operating system of the economy. If you don't understand the rules of the game, you can't play it well. You need a basic grasp of how banks work, how loans are created, what interest rates really mean, how inflation eats away at your purchasing power, and how credit can either be your best friend or your worst enemy. Without this, you're like someone trying to play chess without knowing how the pieces move. Here's why it matters. If you understand inflation, you'll know why leaving all your money in a savings account is actually making you poorer over time. If you understand interest, you'll see why debt can trap you, but also how it can be used strategically to build wealth. If you understand how banks operate, you'll know how to negotiate better credit terms, choose smarter loan products, and avoid financial traps. And it goes beyond personal finance. This is also about macroeconomics. When you know how central banks and monetary policy affect the economy, you'll be able to adjust your strategy during recessions, market crashes, or booms. Smart investors don't panic when the economy dips. They see opportunities. Remember this, billionaires are often made in times of economic turmoil because they understand cycles and act when everyone else is fearful. So, think of learning about money as the most valuable investment in yourself. It's the foundation that makes every other financial decision stronger. 2. Master the Rule of 72. This is one of the simplest but most powerful financial tools you'll ever learn. The Rule of 72 helps you quickly figure out how long it will take your money to double, based on the interest rate. Here's how it works. Take the number 72 and divide it by the interest rate. The result tells you roughly how many years it takes for your money to double. For instance, if you're getting 6% interest, 72 divided by 6 equals 12. That means it'll take about 12 years for your money to double. Now you might say it's not perfect. Sure, it's an approximation. It doesn't account for taxes, fees, or extreme rates. But here is the catch. It's an amazing shortcut that helps you realize the power of compounding interest in action. By using the Rule of 72, you start to appreciate why investing early matters so much. Every year counts. Compounding is often called the eighth wonder of the world for a reason. It quietly builds your wealth while you sleep. 3. Decode behavioral finance. Money isn't just about numbers, it's about psychology. That's what behavioral finance is all about. It studies how our emotions and biases influence our financial decisions. And spoiler, most people make irrational choices, even when they have the facts. Here are some of the biggest traps. Overconfidence. Thinking you're smarter than the market, leading to risky bets. Confirmation bias. Only looking for information that agrees with what you already believe. Loss aversion. The pain of losing money feels twice as bad as the joy of gaining it, so people hold on to bad investments too long. Anchoring, relying too heavily on the first number you see, like a stock's past price, even when the situation has changed. Herd mentality. Following the crowd, which is how bubbles are created. Mental accounting, treating money differently based on where it came from, like blowing your tax refund on luxuries instead of treating it as part of your income. Recency bias, overvaluing recent events and ignoring the bigger picture. How do you beat these? Increase self-awareness. Try tools like the 72-hour rule, from Carl Richards' book The One-Page Financial Plan. Wait 72 hours before making a non-essential purchase or impulsive investment. Often, that urge will disappear. Also, seek out different perspectives. Stick to disciplined strategies like dollar-cost averaging, and keep your focus on the long term instead of chasing quick wins. Mastering behavioral finance means making rational, but not emotional money choices. 4. Implement zero-based budgeting. Most people budget by copying last month's plan and adjusting. Zero-based budgeting flips that. Every month, you start from scratch and give every single dollar a job. You start with your income, salary, side hustles, investments. Then you assign every dollar to expenses, savings, or investments until nothing is left unassigned. This forces you to be intentional. You'll see exactly where your money is going, identify waste, and make sure your spending aligns with your goals. It's like taking control of the steering wheel instead of letting your money drive itself. 5. Study case studies of financial successes and failures. History is a great teacher. Study financial legends like Warren Buffett, who built wealth through patience and value investing. Or companies like Apple and Amazon, which show how innovation and long-term vision create massive growth. But also study the disasters, Enron, the 2008 financial crash, or the more recent collapse of Silicon Valley Bank. These stories teach what happens when greed, unethical practices, or herd mentality go unchecked. Now here is the lesson. Learn from both winners and losers. Success leaves clues, but so do failures. So learn from both and be sure to adopt respectively. 6. Learn to read financial news critically. Not everything you read is trustworthy. Financial news can be biased, sensationalized, or even manipulated. That's why you need to develop critical reading skills. Check the source, who's writing this, what's their agenda, compare multiple outlets. Look for data-driven analysis, not just opinions. And always be cautious of headlines designed to shock you, but that don't tell the full story. One golden rule is follow the money. Ask yourself who benefits from the information being pushed. That often reveals the truth. 7. Challenge yourself with financial experiments. Want to really grow? Experiment. Try living on a strict budget for a month. Test new saving methods. Start a small side hustle. Dip your toe into a new type of investment with money you can afford to lose. These mini experiments give you real-world lessons you can't get from books alone. The key is to stay curious, track your progress, and reflect on what you learn. 8. Analyze your favorite brand's financials. Pick a company you love, maybe it's Nike, Tesla, or Netflix, and study their numbers. Look at their income statement, balance sheet, and cash flow. Then logically ask yourself these questions while reflecting on your financial info framework. How do they make money? Where do they spend it? Are they profitable? Growing? Drowning in debt? By doing this, you're not only learning how to read financial reports, you're also becoming a smarter consumer and investor. Before you realize, you will catch yourself with numerous investment ideas that actually work since they are based on what already works. 9. Follow influential financial podcasts. Podcasts are a goldmine for financial learning. They're convenient, engaging, and often feature real experts sharing their strategies. Shows like Naval Ravikant's podcast break down wealth building into practical, logical principles. And the best part? You can learn while commuting, exercising, or even working your 9 to 5. 10. Read influential personal finance books. Books are like compressed wisdom. Authors like Robert Kiyosaki, who wrote Rich Dad, Poor Dad, or Morgan Housel, the author of The Psychology of Money, have distilled decades of experience into lessons you can apply right away. The key is to not just read, but take notes and apply what you learn to your own situation. And don't stop at one. Keep exploring new perspectives as you move through different stages of life. 11. Utilize gamified learning apps. Learning about money doesn't have to be boring. Apps like Investopedia Stock Simulator let you practice trading with virtual money. Others turn budgeting and saving into games with goals and rewards. Gamified apps make learning interactive and fun, while also building real financial skills without the risk of losing actual money. 12. Set up a financial vision board and practice goal-based investing. Visualization is powerful. Create a vision board filled with images, quotes, and reminders of what you want financially, whether it's a dream home, early retirement, or debt freedom. Combine that with goal-based investing, where you match your investments to specific goals and timelines. For example, a retirement plan might be more aggressive and long-term, while saving for a house down payment might be safer and shorter term. This way, your money always works toward a clear purpose. 13. Automate your finances. Make saving and investing automatic. Set up automatic transfers to your savings and investment accounts so you pay yourself first, before bills and spending. Also, automate bill payments to avoid late fees and keep your credit score healthy. The less you rely on willpower, the easier it is to stick to your plan. 14. Study the FIRE principles, financial independence, retire early. The FIRE movement is all about designing a life where you don't depend on a paycheck. The idea is to save and invest aggressively, sometimes 50% or more of your income, so you can reach financial independence decades earlier than most people. It emphasizes frugality, passive income, and intentional living. Even if you don't want to retire at 35, learning FIRE principles helps you take control of your future and design life on your own terms. Now, I want to hear from you. Which of these strategies do you think will make the biggest impact on your financial journey? Let me know in the comments. I'm always curious to hear your thoughts, and who knows, your comment might inspire a future billionaire. If you found this helpful, share it with someone who really needs to know it, and don't forget to subscribe for more life-changing insights. Thanks for watching.